Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I created this DIY gallery wall right behind me, all the way from how I edited the photos and to where I got the frames. Fun fact, these frames cost only $7.99 each, so be sure to stay tuned all the way till the end of the video because I'm going to be sharing exactly where I got them from. If you're new, I would love if you subscribed and be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. So my husband and I moved into our house 1 year ago, and we just now are really starting to decorate our living room space. Last year I was pregnant with my daughter Shiloh and I had her in June. So my focus last year was her nursery. I wanted to make her nursery look perfect. If you have not seen my nursery tour video yet, I will have it linked down below, but I do give a tour of Shiloh's nursery and share where I got everything. But now that her nursery is done, I'm focusing on the living room. So this is one of the first things that we did on the walls other than just buying our furniture. So I want to share it with you guys. I did create this gallery wall basically from scratch. I picked out my own photos. Some of them I took myself, edited them, got the frames, and we measured it out and did it all ourselves. So I'm going to share with you exactly how I did it, and it actually cost under $100 for all 9 frames and for the prints themselves. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the very first thing that I did when I was creating our gallery wall is I had to pick out which photos I wanted to use. Now, it's really important when you're doing a gallery wall to pick photos that coordinate with one another, have matching colors or similar backgrounds, and to create a cohesive look, because they're all going to be hanging together in close proximity and you want it to have a good aesthetic. So the easiest way to do this would probably be to use all photos from one photo shoot. If you have one photo shoot that's outside, or you're wearing certain colors, or you're in a certain background, and you use all those same photos, then all the pictures are going to go together and just have that cohesive look. However, if you're like me and you want to do a bigger gallery wall, like ours, we used 9 photos. So I wanted to include some of our wedding photos. I also wanted to include some photos from a shoot that we did in December. And I also had a few pictures on my cell phone that I had taken of Shiloh in portrait mode that I wanted to include as well. So I was able to create this cohesive look using photo editing. So once you know exactly which pictures you want to use, or you have a pretty good idea, you can go ahead and do some photo editing. Now, this is my favorite part because you really get to get in there and you can color correct a little bit. If a color is really warm and it's showing a lot of yellows, you can bring it back and really bring in some whites and cool tones. You can also play with the brightness and the contrast and the shadows and the highlighting. There's just so much that you can do when you're just making tweaks to photos, and it ends up making a really big difference. If you're using pictures that you took on your phone or with your camera and they're not professional, you can make them look a little more professional just using some photo editing. So the app that I use the most, and it's my favorite for editing photos on your cell phone or even on your computer, is called Adobe Lightroom CC. This is an app that is free. If you have an iPhone or an Android, you can get it on your phone for free. There might be a few features that you might not be able to access, but just the base plan that they give you is perfect for editing photos. So I'm going to actually grab my iPad and show you exactly how I edit my photos, but there's 2 different ways that you can do this. You want it to still look natural and just look professional and finished. So what I would suggest is to play around with the lighting and the colors a little bit. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like on my iPad. The second way, and is the easiest way to edit your photos, but it may take a bit of an investment, is to use a preset. I personally purchased a preset off of a website that it's already done for you. So someone went into Adobe Lightroom and they created a preset by adjusting the colors and the brightness and the contrast and all of those things, and they saved it. And I went ahead, I bought the preset off their website, downloaded it into Adobe Lightroom, and all I have to do is click a button and it goes ahead and it creates all of those changes at a click of one button. So if you've ever heard of a preset before, that's all that it is. It's different from a filter because it's not putting a filter over your photo. It's actually just adjusting the tones and the lighting and the shadows and the sharpness, all of those things at the click of a button because it's saved from a previous setting. If you're interested in my preset that I use for my photos, I will have it linked down below, and I'm also going to include a few others that are a little bit more affordable if you're looking to do that. But if not, if you just want to adjust your colors and your tones and do that same thing for every single photo, then I'll show you also how to do that in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm just going to click right into the Adobe Lightroom app. This is what it looks like. And again, you can download this on iPhone or Android for free in the App Store. So these pictures are all of the ones that I already edited and I printed out and had them put up on the wall. Just wanted to show you guys what they look like finished. So this last photo of Shiloh was actually taken on my iPhone XS, and all I did was add a preset to edit it. So I just took the preset off to show you. This is the before, what it looked like before the preset, and this is after adding the preset back on. And I did crop it into a square so it would fit the frames. So now I just want to click into this photo right here that was also taken on my iPhone XS, and I'm going to scroll all the way down on the side and click presets, and you'll see I have saved here my preset that's called Let's Get Digital, and it's as easy as clicking it and clicking OK, and now the preset has been added. Now I can go back and look at, this is where you can crop the photo if you want to adjust. You can also tilt it from side to side if it's not straight. My picture is already pretty straight and I don't want to crop it, so I'm going to leave it as is. Then I'm going to look into the light. So you can click light, and this is where you can add some brightness to your photo if you would like to. So as you can see, these are all already preset from the preset that I already added, but I can now adjust it from here. So I'm going to add a little bit of highlights. I'm going to definitely brighten it up a bit, probably reduce some of those shadows because it was pretty heavy on the shadows already. But this is where you can just have fun and tweak it a little bit to make it more your preference. I personally like a photo that is very bright, and I like to enhance the whites in the photo. After that, I'm going to edit the blacks a little bit. Again, you can play with blacks and whites and just kind of see what you like best. Different combinations are going to give you a different result. So the more you play with it, the more you'll get a good idea of what you like and what you don't like. Now I'm going to go into the color. This is where you can really cool down a photo. So this photo was kind of in the middle of the day where there was a lot of sun, so it was very warm. So I'm kind of bringing it more towards the green side of the spectrum, which is going to cool it up a bit in temperature. This filter already cools down the photo a bit. It typically tends to lean more towards the greens and really make those greens pop. So I'm just gonna kind of adjust it a bit. And these are more details that you can do. This is the vignette. It kind of makes it look like a circle and like focuses in the middle. I never use that at all, but I'm just kind of showing you guys what you can do. Now sharpening, I always do sharpen the photo, and this preset also sharpens, so I will do that. Sometimes I'll bump it up a bit, and that just makes it look more detailed and more finished. All right, so there you have it. This is the photo with the preset and with extra editing to adjust it. And now I'm taking the preset off just to show you this was the before and now this is the after. And I do suggest creating an album like this for your finished photos. That way, if you're working on a project like this, you can easily access them and you're not shifting through other photos that you're editing and getting confused. So I'm just again showing you how I edited this photo, which was also taken with my iPhone. It was not professional. My husband took it for me. And here you can see the colors and what it looks like from the preset, and you can edit it from there. And of course, if you don't have a preset or you don't want to go out and purchase one, you can definitely still go into the lighting and the colors and the detail and make these edits. And once you have the photo exactly how you want it, you can actually save it as a preset and use that on all of the other photos. All right, you guys, so that is how I edited all of these photos, and I got them to have that cohesive, bright look and have similar tones in color. So honestly, I feel like it makes the biggest impact whether you're creating a gallery wall or just putting photos on your Instagram. I think that if you pay more attention to your editing, you can really create a nice aesthetic. So the next thing that I did is I took all of the edited photos and I uploaded them into an app called UNUM. So now I'm going into an app called UNUM. This is an app that is used to organize and plan out your Instagram posts, and you can also look into your Instagram analytics. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just showing you how I use this app to organize the photos that I wanted to put on the wall and see what they looked like next to each other before I chose which photos I wanted to have printed, if that makes sense. So I knew that I wanted 9 photos. I wanted 3 rows of 3, and this app shows 3 rows of 3, all of the photos in squares. So I was able to play around with the photos and move them around just like I am right now to see what combination I like the best. So if you're doing some type of gallery wall or even just organizing what photos to post on Instagram, this comes in handy because you get to see before you actually post or before you print the photos what they look like next to each other. My personal philosophy is that pictures that have similar color or just look very similar should go mirroring each other or diagonal from each other, but they should never be touching because it just looks weird when they're right next to each other. So I did this with that photo of me, Tyler, and Shiloh, where Shiloh's in the middle. I did one of those to the right and then one to the left, and then I broke it with the one with Shiloh at the beach in the middle, and that just kind of offsets it. So now I'm gonna click the plus sign, and you can then add any photo that you want. So I'm going to select the photo of Shiloh at the beach, but this was the unedited photo. And I'm going to swap this with the photo that is edited just to show you what a difference it makes. So this is without editing and now with editing. So you can see that it makes such a big difference in how cohesive your look is. It looks so much better with the preset. This also helped me determine which photos that I wanted to use. So if there was one photo that just stood out from the others and didn't really go, then I knew, okay, maybe I should try something else. And I kind of just kept messing with it until I figured out the perfect, I guess, combination of photos that I wanted to use. And once I had those photos, those 9 photos that I knew that I wanted to use, I made sure I had them saved into their own folder on my phone, the edited version, not the unedited version, and I uploaded them into Walgreens.com and got prints off of there. So let's go ahead and talk about the frames. These frames were actually from IKEA. I was so excited when I looked online and I found them because they are only $7.99 each. So for all 9 frames, it cost under $80 for all of them. And I think with shipping, it cost about $82 total. So it was an awesome deal. If you're interested in this frame, it also comes in the color black, and I will show you really quickly exactly what it's called. I can't pronounce it. It's some type of Swedish, but I'm gonna insert a picture and show you what it looks like. So it looks like the name of the frame is Lomviken by IKEA, and it's 12.5 by 12.5 inches, and it has an aluminum frame. These frames came with the white matting already in there, which was perfect because we knew that we wanted the white border inside of the frame. And then the inside of the photo was 7.5 by 7.5 inches. So I went ahead and ordered from Walgreens.com the 8 by 8 inch because I knew that it would need to overlap just a little bit, and they ended up fitting pretty perfectly. And just a quick tip, what I did do when I was putting the pictures in the frames is I put a small piece of tape on the top and the bottom, and that way the picture doesn't slide around at all once it's inside of the frame. Once the frames were in and the pictures were in the frames, all we had to do was measure the wall. So make sure that you have a level, a pencil, and measuring tape, because you're going to want to measure the center of the wall and then measure out from there the proximity of each photo. So what we did is we decided, since we have a pretty big wall, a pretty big space to cover, we did each photo about 6 inches apart. We wanted to space them out a little bit more so that they really spread out and it was like tall and wide and created like a bigger impact. So there you go. This is exactly how we did our DIY wall gallery, and I hope that you guys got something out of this video, whether it was from the frames to the photo editing. I hope that you got something out of this video. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments, do you use a preset when you edit your photos, or what app do you use? I would love to know. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching and making it till the end of the video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.